Well, I'll share really briefly because I know that you guys have been out there and you guys have significant things to share as well. So maybe something a little different. I went cross-culturally to Mozambique, Africa, which is East Africa, for about 2.5 months. That was in 2005, and that was because I read a book about, the writer was Heidi Baker, if you know her, and she just tells these great stories about the revivals in Africa, and after I read that, I'm like, I have to go and see it for myself. And so I went, and it was a cross-cultural missionary school. So like in the morning and afternoon, we had classes, and then like in the afternoon and night, we would go out and do outreaches in the village. And we lived together too. People from all over the world, New Zealand, England, North America, Canada. We all went, and there were about 200 of us. So we lived in like true community. We built our own bathrooms. We dug our own toilets. We built our own fences with bamboo sticks, and we chopped them, and it was just like everything we had to do together just to live the most basic life. And I kind of assume that's the kind of stuff that happens in the army. Tim's in the army. You do the most basic stuff just to survive. And you really built a true camaraderie between your teammates, and so 2.5 months of living with the same group of guys, we had such strong bonding, and just the crazy evangelism and outreach that I saw blew my mind. I mean, every week they have 4 big trucks of people going out to the villages. Like on Thursday, 20 people on a truck. Drive 3 hours to a village, stay there for 3 days, and just reach out and save the whole village. Friday, another team goes out. Saturday, another team goes out. Like Sunday, another team goes out. 4 days out of the week, we have 4 large groups going out, and that happens every day. And in 12 years, they planted 7,000 churches. Can you imagine that? Just the spiritual vitality of the place is amazing. Their life just revolves around Jesus, and ours, although I think we're Christians, but I think, we try to make God revolve around our time schedule here. It's very different. And so, after coming back, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm leaving this place, Like over there, I felt so close to God, Every morning at 5:30, a group of us, we would like walk to the ocean and just be with God and sing praises and do our devotion, And here we have trouble getting up at 8, And so, long story short, we come back, and I was like, man, I wish I was there. I wish that I could stay there for a long, long time, and just coming back. And I was kind of even a little bitter, towards like Christianity in America. Just like, man, we have all these things, but we so take it for granted and everything. But I had no solution. I didn't know how to integrate my experience because I couldn't bring the revival back, But how do I just become the same old me, or do I somehow integrate that and try to follow God in a more, meaningful way? And that's on my part. I have to do that. I can't expect my environment to change. You know what I mean? And just say, oh, society, you suck. Why can't you be closer to God so I can feel closer to God? It doesn't work that way, And so it is a lot of personal self-discipline into making your life the way you see you want it to be, a life that revolves around Jesus, a life that lives a life of witness and outreach, and a life of just that personal devotion to God. So it's a big challenge, and I'm sure you guys have a lot of similar experiences too. So I want to open up to the floor to share.